Hail Zamint, peace gods and goddess. In the last video, I highly encourage you to go watch. In the last video, I discussed about how um, integration and assimilation and essentially accepting the American title nullified our argument of reparations. And so this video essentially talks about the other side of that coin, about how it also took our nationhood away because we accepted being a part of the American nation. And to this day, we are essentially seeing the effects of this. Okay. Um, First and foremost, as Black people in America, we did not play, or obviously we were persuaded into not, for obvious reasons, into not playing the specific role that we are almost ordained to do here. You understand? We are inside the nation um, that enslaved us, essentially. Okay. We are not like the Iranians or the Vietnamese who are fighting a nation from a different nation. You get what I'm saying? We are not fighting, or we are not dealing with a nation that is oppressive to us, but it is across the water from us. It is across the sea. We are not dealing with that. We are in the house of that, and it is very, 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 very important to note that the only way, or the only line of defense, that the slave master has inside his own home against the multiple slaves that have more strength than him and outnumber him, the only line of defense he has is uh the mental chains that he has on those said slaves. And so in this case, the only line of defense that America has from the rage and from the anger and from all the pain that, and essentially all the repercussions that will come from the black population here in America, the only line of defense they has is essentially the mental chain of holding you as an American hostage, in a sense. You understand? The only line of defense America has is you saying that you are American. That's it. It's the only line of defense they have. Because as long as you say that, what you will do is continue to help America grow. Because you see yourself as an American, and you feel as though you have nowhere else to go, and that nowhere else is your home other than this American soil, what happens is you essentially want to see this nation grow. Okay? You want to see your oppressor grow, and you help him. You will help him go fight his wars. Because essentially those are your wars as well, right? This is your nation. You will pour your money into the system to keep the very system that was built off the blood and sweat of your ancestors. You will pay into, and you will help keep going because you now see yourself a part of that nation. You tell yourself that you are an American. Okay, you don't get the respect as an American. You can go into the military and do all of these heroic things, and you will come home and white people will tell you that you're lying and that you don't deserve the medal. You understand? You can do all these great things for America, and they will take credit for it because you are not a part of the nation. And you have to accept that before we can even go further. Before I even talk about the Republic of New Africa and in the great foundation that they have laid, you have to stop thinking that you are American. You have to. You cannot think nation. You cannot be a black nationalist who's thinking nation, who is thinking about the liberation of his people, and think that you are American and claim to be American and support the actions of America. You understand? It is too contradicting. You are not an American. You do not get treated like an American, okay? Your neighborhoods are not how they are because you don't have money. You have money for one. The black population here in America has great capital. We just pour it into America, so essentially we keep America going. But that's not why your neighborhoods look the way they look. The way they look because this is your position in the society. You understand? That is why when you elevate your status, no matter where you go, you still feel out of place. You get a good job, with a good, you got a good job with a good degree, and you in these white offices and in these white spaces in a white suburb, what happens? You can have a home in a suburb. They still call the police on you. They'll still assume that that's not your house. They will still be treating you as if you live in the ghettos because that's where you belong. That is the position in the society that you have accepted. You understand? By calling yourself a Black American. Okay. Um, and this is something that I have discussed before, but I continue to antagonize this point because, as I have said, a couple minutes, a couple seconds ago, you understand that there is no point in talking about the Republic of New Africa to a bunch of people who think they are American. Okay, there is no point in discussing solutions that are revolved around thinking nation and thinking outside of this nation to a group of people or to people who still think they are a part of this nation. There is no point. It is no point at all. Okay, you have to understand that you are not American. And you were never intended to be American. And you will never be American no matter what you do. Do you understand that? No matter what you do, okay? That Constitution was not written to protect you. It was written to protect these people from you. It was written to essentially protect these people' ability to defend themselves against you and all the other people they decide to defend or go attack. You understand? That Constitution was not written to include you. Okay? It was not. So before we can think nation, before you can step into the light of solutions, you have to accept that you are not American. You are not American. You are not a foundational Black American. Okay?